6 months after a fiery clash inside the White House, Ukraine's President Zelensky walked back into the same room. But this time, he wasn't alone. He arrived with Europe's most powerful leaders. UK, France, Germany, Italy, even NATO chiefs standing shoulder to shoulder. A united European front. Why? Because just last week, Donald Trump rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. Yes, the US president welcomed a man branded as an international war criminal. Like a hero. From champagne receptions to photo ops, Trump treated Putin not as an enemy, but as a partner. And then came the shocker. Trump openly echoed Putin's demands, telling Ukraine, "Give away part of your land. Forget NATO. Stop fighting." For Europe, this was betrayal. For Ukraine, it was survival, because Trump's admiration for Putin is no secret. If he could, he would happily turn America into a dictatorship. And that's why this Trump-Putin romance has Europe terrified. The America that once stood like a wall behind Ukraine is now shaking hands with Russia. Sanctions? Forget it. Today, Trump is talking about trade deals with Moscow. And when India buys Russian oil, Washington lectures New Delhi. But when Trump himself woos Putin, it's somehow smart diplomacy? Hypocrisy has no limits. Trump's team even bragged. Putin came running to us for a deal, but the world saw the truth. It was America that bent the knee. And who became the easy scapegoat? India. While Europe, China, and Turkey quietly kept buying Russian oil, Trump singled out New Delhi. Tariffs, penalties, diplomatic humiliation. For India, the message was clear. Silence is weakness. Meanwhile, Russia isn't hiding its ambitions. Putin arrived in Alaska with business tycoons, demanding sanctions be lifted and trade restarted. And the biggest prize? Ukraine's future. Russia now claims it will guarantee Ukraine's security. The same Ukraine it invaded. The irony is breathtaking, but from behind the smiles, Putin had one clear demand. Ukraine must surrender the Donbass region. And forget about NATO. Forever. Trump echoed him word for word. And suddenly, America, the same America that armed and funded Kyiv, was now pushing Ukraine towards a land swap. For Zelensky, the nightmare became real. Without US backing, could Ukraine resist Russia alone? Whispers suggest a deal. Russia keeps Donetsk and Luhansk, while returning Zaporizhzhia and Kherson. A fake compromise, a diplomatic trap, and the harshest blow, Ukraine's NATO dream, dead. Trump even tweeted it. Ukraine will never join NATO. For Europe, this was a geopolitical earthquake. For Zelensky, it was humiliation. That's why this time, he came dressed in a suit, rehearsed his thank yous, and showered Trump with praise. 8 times in 6 minutes. Because he knew, flattery works better on Trump than facts. But behind Zelensky's soft words, European leaders spoke hard truths. First a ceasefire, then peace. Yet Trump wasn't interested in ceasefire. He wanted something bigger. A Nobel Peace Prize. The war that began in February 2022, when Russia invaded to block Ukraine's NATO bid, was now being twisted into Trump's stage for personal glory. Putin gambled that Zelensky would collapse in 2 days. Instead, Ukraine fought for 3.5 years, proving the world wrong. But just as Ukraine showed resilience, Trump changed the script. Now it wasn't about ending war, it was about cutting deals. And while bombs rained on Kyiv, Trump was busy polishing his chances at a Nobel Prize. The justification from his administration? Absurd. That by inviting Putin, they had somehow cornered him. Cornered? Or capitulated? In reality, Trump failed everywhere. On China, on immigration, on inflation. And desperate for a win, in this new great game, one thing is certain. Ukraine bleeds, Russia bargains. Trump chases glory,